Building the Brooklyn Bridge. The Irish and German workers who risked it all. The Brooklyn Bridge is one of New York City's most iconic landmarks, but behind its steel cables and stone towers lies a history of struggle, sacrifice, and resilience. Thousands of immigrant laborers, particularly Irish and German workers, played a crucial role in constructing this engineering marvel. Many of these men risked their lives for low wages, leaving behind few records, making it challenging for their descendants to trace their stories. If your ancestor lived in Brooklyn or Manhattan during the late 19th century and worked in construction, there's a chance they were involved in this monumental project. This article will explore the role of immigrant laborers in building the Brooklyn Bridge, the dangers they faced, and how you can research family members who may have contributed to its construction. Irish and German immigrant workers constructing the Brooklyn Bridge, 1869 to 1883, facing hazardous conditions to connect Brooklyn and Manhattan. The Brooklyn Bridge and its immigrant workforce. The bridge, designed by John A. Roebling and completed by his son, Washington Roebling, connected the growing city of Brooklyn to Manhattan, transforming commerce and daily life. However, its completion would not have been possible without the thousands of immigrant laborers, many of whom had arrived in New York seeking a better life after fleeing poverty, famine, and political unrest in Europe. Irish workers, escaping famine, facing new hardships. Many of the bridge's laborers were Irish immigrants, often recent arrivals who had fled the devastation of the Great Famine, 1845 to 1852. By the time bridge construction began, Irish communities were well established in Brooklyn neighborhoods like Vinegar Hill, 5 Points, and the Navy Yard district. Many Irishmen took on backbreaking jobs as sandhogs, workers who excavated the bridge's massive foundations deep beneath the East River. Sandhogs faced extreme danger, working in high-pressure caissons, large airtight chambers sunk into the riverbed to allow for underwater excavation. These men endured unbearable heat, poor air quality, and the constant threat of explosions, fires, or deadly caisson disease, now known as decompression sickness. Many Irish laborers never made it home from the job site, but few official records documented their deaths. German laborers, skilled craftsmen and engineers. The German community in New York, particularly in neighborhoods like Williamsburg and Bushwick, also contributed significantly to the Brooklyn Bridge. Many German immigrants arrived in the mid-19th century with specialized skills in ironworking, masonry, and engineering. Some worked as blacksmiths forging the bridge's massive steel cables, while others were stonecutters shaping the granite blocks of the bridge's towers. German workers were also more likely to hold supervisory roles or work in skilled trades compared to their Irish counterparts, who often performed the most dangerous manual labor. If your ancestor was a German immigrant in Brooklyn during this period, their occupation might provide clues about their role in the bridge's construction. The dangers of building the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge claimed the lives of at least 30 workers, though the actual number may be much higher. Caisson disease, falling accidents, and explosions were all common hazards. Many deaths went unreported, particularly for immigrant laborers with no family in the city. If your ancestor worked in construction and died suddenly between 1869 and 1883, it's worth investigating whether they were involved in the bridge's construction. If you suspect an ancestor helped build the Brooklyn Bridge, here are some research steps to take. 1. Check census records, 1870 and 1880. 2nd. Search death certificates, 1869 to 1883. 3rd. Review newspaper archives. 4th. Look for labor union records. 5. Explore church records. If you've hit a roadblock in your genealogy research or need assistance in tracking down records, I can help. Contact me today, and let's uncover your family's Brooklyn story together.